Low death run starts now, actually. Low death actually starts now.
With BOJACK, specifically in how their lives have moved on since their competing TV shows. BOJACK defines himself by this single successful career move and hasn't mentally moved beyond that, whereas Mr. PB doesn't define himself by a single thing he's done, constantly putting himself back out in the spotlight to pursue whatever.
Okay, that's fine. That's expected.
Characters in this episode also get a bit of exploration insofar as their identities are concerned.
Okay, also expected. I hate this fucking room.
BOJACK that her boss is unable to, and in the end, does get her dream.
I hate this fucking room.
Since this is a flashback, we know the dramatic irony.
Oh my lord, have mercy.
Status. Also deals with the struggle to find identity as he's pushed into a
Oh my god, bro.
that he's not entirely comfortable with. For now, this is really more of a comic relief subplot, and it doesn't evolve beyond that much further until much later in the show's run.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine, only a few deaths.
How much they've changed physically in the time between 2007 and the current year, or in BOJACK's case, how he hasn't. Everybody else has changed.
Okay, sure. Sure.
But BOJACK looks nearly identical to the way that he currently does. Mr. Peanut Butter has changed very little as well, but since he's always been much
sure.
person, this isn't as surprising. BOJACK kills.
Sure.
When investigating Cuddly Whiskers' house for a note Jill Phil wrote him years ago, BOJACK and Diane come across a dead orca in his pool, and they're suspected of the murder. Assuming somebody is trying to frame BOJACK, they begin an investigation that leads the duo to Whale World, run by a former bit role on Horsing Around. It's soon discovered that BOJACK is the name of a strange drug, and that there was no real conspiracy against him after all. Meanwhile, Ty and Mr. Peanut Butter get sprayed by a skunk and burn the lawn down in an attempt to clean up after the fact. When BOJACK and Diane meet with Cuddly Whiskers in Ojai, the former writer tells BOJACK that the only way to rid yourself of desire is to part with material possessions. A fact that he states in an expensive property surrounded by fancy teas after winning several awards and accolades. The entire message rings pretty hollow considering which the message is being wielded.
I don't know why the fuck I did that, but okay.
By a man living on a property which he only uses to run away from his stresses, and told to BOJACK, who has already tried running away from his problems multiple times. It's par for the course for BOJACK to take this advice to heart and to fall into the same pit he's fallen into before, and maybe a little bit more inevitable as BOJACK is meeting with the person who is happy in a way that he's not, despite doing something BOJACK himself has already tried once. There's a bit of irony in the fact that BOJACK feels his life was ruined by Hollywood and the lifestyle that followed him throughout his acting career, visiting a place where women are exploited in nearly the exact same way, but, you know, without the millions of dollars that can hardships. The narrative itself dismisses this as BOJACK grasping at straws, but there's still something to be
okay. I'm just gonna say okay after every death because every death has been really fucking cringe.
He had lost his horsing around money and had to live a mundane suburban life. A later season will only give us a short glimpse into this sort of setting too, and for now it's an idea that's more or less dismissed. Fish out of water. A mostly wordless episode detailing BOJACK going to an underwater film festival to promote the upcoming second.
One try on the one that actually didn't matter. Cool.
A thumbs up gesture, which means something else there, and desperately tries to reconnect with Kelsey in order to properly apologize to her. But all of these incidents take a back seat in favor of returning a lost seahorse to its father. So the obvious theme of this episode is communication, or rather the difficulties that arise due to a lack of it. BOJACK miscommunicates with an interviewer and gives an offensive thumbs up to the underwater community. He tries to communicate with Kelsey, but ends up never being able to properly reach her. And he ends up lost and confused in a foreign land because he's unable to properly communicate his pleas to others. It's not until the end of the episode where he realizes that so many of his woes are due to an improper way of thinking. He's been underwater the entire time, he can just swim up and away at any moment. His mindset being the only thing locking him into a 2D.
I don't know what that was. Let's go find out.
Premiere is a success, mostly because he wasn't there to botch it in any meaningful way. One can't help but wonder what would have happened if, at one point in this episode, BOJACK encountered Kelsey while in possession of the seahorse.
11? It felt more than that, but that's pretty good. That's not terrible for 3,200 deaths and 10 hours, I guess.
Squaring his pride.
A lot of the deaths were pretty stupid, so...
Speculation.
But the stupid deaths also matter, right? Like, it's not like... Yeah. I don't know.
Love and or marriage.
Okay.
Crashes a wedding.
I'm done.
Because people love it when celebrities drink their alcohol.
My fingers hurt.
He accidentally
I'm done.
convinces one of the brides that she may not be ready for marriage. It's then up to him